Rogue One was the first Star Wars movie that didn't focus on any Jedi, but out of nowhere Chirrut Ìmwe appeared, a mysterious character speaking about kyber crystals, the future, and most surprisingly, the Force.
The Force is with me, and I am with the Force, and I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
Right away, this spiritual monk grabbed the audience's attention by taking down a squad of stormtroopers. But there was something much more interesting to him than his warrior spirit. He could see things, even if he was blind. He could discern people's true nature even without having met them before. And he possessed information that should have been buried with the fall of the Republic.
The strongest stars have hearts of kyber.
He quickly became one of the bright spots of the movie, displaying a very simple but powerful way of viewing the obscure energy in the Star Wars universe known as the Force. As a result of this interesting perspective, though it might not look like it, I find this odd character extremely relatable. Let me explain. Rogue One introduced a new perspective on the Force by creating a character who was in tune with it, but didn't necessarily wield it. As mentioned in A New Hope, we've known from the very beginning that the Force is part of everything.
It surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
However, this has for the most part been shown through characters who can use it, and this is on one hand what makes Chirrut so unique, as he embodies the concept of the Force in a way George Lucas never fully captured on screen. On the other hand, it's actually never confirmed that he could sense anything, although I do believe it's pretty obvious that he has some sort of connection to it, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do this. Yet that's also part of the charm, because whether he has extremely good listening skills or could feel the energy around him isn't really the main point. It's rather about sticking to his faith and previous beliefs.
That is what use the Force is a leap of faith, that there are mysteries and powers larger than we are, and you have to trust your feelings in order to access these things.
He's praying for the door to open.
It bothers him because he knows it's possible.
His buddy in crime, Baze Malbus, functions as the counterpart to his silly philosophy by having a realistic and critical mindset. I can't help but draw the parallel between two siblings where one of them has the creative spark while the other is simple-minded and rational.
The Force did protect me.
I protected you.
There is no way that a character like Chirrut and his decision at the end of the final act would have been as impactful without the voice of Baze constantly telling him how ridiculous he is. By undermining the faith in the Force, the almost impossible task of getting to the transmitter station unharmed functioned as a powerful statement towards his doubters, illustrating that Chirrut's dedication to a life in unity with this energy was genuine in existence.
I'm one with the Force and the Force is with me.
The mantra that gets repeated throughout the movie has such an important impact, and it's the glue that holds the character together. There is a reason it's become iconic, and it's because Chirrut's unwavering beliefs and mindset are finally rewarded. I see it as the will of the Force guided him to victory, fulfilling the quote-unquote leap of faith George Lucas talked about. As the phrase puts it, the Force had always been a part of Chirrut, and it revealed itself when he needed it the most, culminating in one of the film's most beautiful and powerful moments.
Look for the Force.
Chirrut,
You will always find me.
the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
This is the point I wanted to make, that Chirrut always strived to be what every Star Wars fan wants to be, one with the Force. He longs to be part of this magical world, to feel its presence and become the heroic Jedi we all admire. However, I never think he wanted to be the hero, or that he became a Jedi, rather that the Force called to him in that moment, like an instinct within that couldn't be ignored. That's why he smiles even if he is on the verge of dying, because from his perspective he had received reassurance that the Force was still looking out for him and that he now had completed his mission. There is something uncanny to witness the Force in action, especially with characters who have limitations, like Chirrut or Kanan when he became blind. It's as if the Force reveals itself more clearly through them than it does with others, showing that the Force is a sense of its own.
Fear, grief, anger, that's how they see me. That's how I see myself.
If you can see yourself, you will never be truly blind. Kanan Jarrus, Jedi Knight.
Kanan's story became really interesting after he lost his sight, because he had to come to terms with it and connect with the Force on a much deeper level. Chirrut, on the other hand, seemed to have already mastered this, and like I mentioned previously, it amazed me how he could truly see people, almost knowing them better than they knew themselves.
There is more than one sort of prison, Captain. I sense that you carry yours wherever you go.
While I don't think he wields the Force like a Jedi, there is little doubt that he's using it to his advantage. It was a clever way to keep his character grounded in his own beliefs while still bringing in those fantasy elements that most regular people wouldn't have. You could even see it as a unique type of Force religion, similar to how the Sith can use lightning, or how the Night Sisters have their own magic, or those strange characters in Clone Wars Season 6 who had their own take on the Force.
Our beloved Dagoyan masters are disappearing one by one. And if they are not returned, a darkness will arise that will engulf the galaxy.
I really wish this abstract energy was explored more in these kinds of creative ways. In a vast universe like Star Wars, it totally makes sense that there would be more than just two interpretations of it. And this monk evidently showed us this.
Are you kidding me? I'm blind!
So to summarize, I would say that Rogue One is a very dark movie that ends with every main character facing their demise. Chirrut therefore brought a bit of life into this film, which I think otherwise would be a missing part. The central theme of the movie is about hope, showing that rebellion is built on it, and I think Chirrut played a big role in this. Its belief in the Force worked as a metaphor, and that's the main message you should take with you, that in life you need to believe in what you're doing and have a purpose that keeps you moving forward, even when things are tough. I believe in Chirrut Ìmwe as much as he believes in the Force, and I hope we get more characters like this in the years to come. If you like Rogue One, you will love Star Wars Andor. Click on this video to find out more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will have a great day.